when the Russian soldiers came, he came on a white horse, an officer, the glorious Russian army liberated him. So what? People were weak, they couldn't walk. And they asked him, doctors to bring nothing, he didn't want to answer nothing. And he was just bones, and even the skin was like leather. So I put him in bed. He couldn't stand on his feet. I had to, and I was little. I didn't have so much. I wasn't so strong. Mm-hmm. But I had a hard time with it to put In the evening, my father called me and he said, "Come on, sit down. I want to talk to you." He told me to bring the map what the Russian doctor gave me. He marked all the cities and the towns where I can find relatives or Jews and how to get home. So, mark the whole road how to get home and where I can find some relatives or Jewish congregation. And he told me that every night before I go to sleep, to go over on the names, my father's name, my sister's name, mother's name. There was a box on the table, and he asked me to give it to me, so I gave it to him. He took his teeth. One teeth was broken, they put in false teeth, and one teeth was broken a little bit, and my sisters used to make jokes about it. So my father knew that they were recognized this is his teeth. You understand? Mm-hmm. So he put it in a box. He said this will be a identification, like that they should recognize me. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because I was 30 years old, and it will take a few years. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't believe that I'm their brother or something. He said, "Don't forget and tell them what you went through. And tell them that I'm very sorry that I cannot be more a father to them." And he said to me, "My son, swear to me the living God, you will not let me be cremated. Whatever happened, bury me in the fork of the road, anywhere where you want, but don't let them be cremate me." I said, "Please don't talk about that. You have to stay alive. You have to stay alive for me and for my sisters. What can we do without you?" And hurt me very much because he didn't say, "I go with you." Mm-hmm. We will go home. He said, "You." And just I have to. I couldn't listen to what he says because I always trusted. Now the war is over. We are too old. The hell, no war is over. I will go up by myself home. And I tell you the truth, I was a little bit angry at him after he died. I was a little bit angry. I don't know this stupid thing, but I was angry that he promised me that I will go. I cried for a long time, very bitterly. Then all of a sudden I remembered what my father told me. And that I swore to him, I promised him what?
I buried him.
To bury him. So I took 2 sheets and I put my father in it and I bandaged him, like a mummy, Mm-hmm. And I put on the floor and I on a sheet and I covered them, again with the sheet. And I put I covered it with prayer shawl, and I put around them candles, and I sat down. And early in the morning, I said, I had some trouble. Oh well, I take my father to the graveyard. We were on the second floor, and I find this board, this ironing board, a white ironing board. I put it down and I put my father on, how you call it, with ropes. I tied the rope. And then I picked them up, and I went backwards and I pulled them on the floor. And when I came to the steps, jumping. Slowly I took them down. Then I took, when I was downstairs, I took it and I put it on the little wagon what I brought my father in. Then I hitched myself to the wagon, and I took him to the cemetery. On the way to the cemetery, all kind thoughts came in my mind. I would come to this if he would be a little bit stronger. I wouldn't, because all the food what I brought him during the camp, he shared it with his people, with his friends, with the who lived together. And I remember I told him, Daddy, you have to watch yourself. You don't have nothing, why you give it away? He said, my son, to give it away when you have it is not a big deal. Give it away when you don't have it, when you share it. When you don't have, you share it. This is the commandment from God. I was digging 3 days and 2 nights. It was very hard. And in the evening of the third day, I finished the grave. I couldn't look out. I went in and I couldn't see out. I pulled the wagon near the grave, and I took my father off, near the grave on the ground. And this iron board, I took it and I put it into the hole, to the grave, to the hole there. And I put my father's body on it and I slid it down in the grave. Then I climbed out from the grave and I started to close the dirt. And from this board I made a marker. I wrote my father's name on it, and I wrote concentration camp, from the concentration camp, and I put a Star of David on it. Now I have to start to do what my father ordered me to do. To go home and find my sisters. I had 2 suitcases, they were packed, and one was all kind of clothes, and the other was all kind of food. And I had a map what my father marked how to get home and where will I find relatives and some Jewish communities. I took a piece of rag and I made a bag out of it, and I put in the tefillin, and I put in the box that my father gave, and his teeth, they should be proof that I am their brother. And I put in the map and I tied it to my body, and I put the shirt on. And this is the only thing what I had in the inheritance from my father. This and a lot of memories. And in the station was a lot of people, thousands of people that were waiting for trains too. And there were people, Polish, German, from concentration camps, you name it, everyone all mixed together. They wanted to go this way, the other wanted to go this way. All of a sudden, a train came, and everybody started to run. And those half-dead people became tigers. And they filled up all the cars and even on the roof, everywhere. I didn't have a place where to go. When I looked at the train, I saw where the bumpers looked like a horse, So I took the big jacket of the soldier gave me. I put it on. Then I took the 2 suitcases and I hanged one here and turned over, And then I had the other belt. I was full of belts because I knew I needed. I tied myself to the train. There was a handle where when they go up, climb up on the, so they hold. I tied myself there. I was sitting with my back to the train, and the bumper between my legs. I was sitting like on a horse, and I put my feet on the 2 suitcases. The train was going very, very slow because it was full of people and was uphill. And all of a sudden we came into a tunnel. The smoke, it was very stinky, So I took a rag and I put it on my face. The rag that I had helped me to breathe. And I used this already in the camp when I was working in the mines. So I knew how to take care of it. All the people who were on the roof, they got choked and they were falling down like yelling and people died one after the other there. One guy was sitting on the roof above me and he fell down and fell in my lap. He almost slid down and I caught him. I was holding. When we came up from the, on the side of the, trains, the tracks were full of dead people. We came to a little city and the MP was waiting for us there. And they took us off from the train and they started to investigate. So they investigated, they asked me questions too, and they saw 2 suitcases and they looked on my body and they find the map. Here started the trouble to me. I'm a spy. I said, you are a spy, you have maps and marked maps. What is this? So I explained to him that my father died, and before he died, he showed me how to get home. They didn't believe me. And he said, if you are not a spy, why you speak German? I said, if you are Russian, why you speak German to me? He said, I was angry that he spoke to me German. And he accused me that I was German because I speak German. He speaks German too. And here I made a big mistake. Then I was fresh to them. This wasn't fresh, this was done. And they beat the hell out of me, and I was all over, broken. And they threw me into the jail, to a big yard. There were SS men there, or SS, German. And I was sitting, I didn't want to go to them, and I was sitting by the gate, you understand? And I was looking on the SS, they felt sorry for me. They didn't know what, So I said to myself, they felt sorry for me, and my Messiah, was hoping, they are beating the hell out of me. I felt very bad. They brought the food for everybody, and one soldier told me to help him. I should go to help, to give out the food. And he talked to me in German, and I talked to him in Russian, in Ukraine. And I told him, I'm a Jew, maybe you can help me. I felt that he's a Jew. And he asked me, Amcha? Amcha was a word. Amcha means your nation, nationality. And this was, in Europe, that time you were talking to somebody Polish, and you throw in the word Amcha. Somehow you throw it in. Now, if he was a Jew, he got this word, and then he knew that he said Amcha to word. You understand? Mm-hmm. So he asked me, Amcha? So I said, yeah, I'm one of you. One of you. He took me out from this cage there, and took me into the officers' club. And he introduced me to a Jewish officer, and I told him what happened, and I was in camp, and then I told him the whole story, and they stopped me and they beat the hell out of me. He said, it's a lie, I'm just making it up. And he was looking into it, and this And he saw I'm right, so he took me to the general. And the general, he heard this, he made a big scandal. He went to the NKGB, you know, this is the secret police, you know, how come a 30-year-old boy you take and be there? He made a big scandal. It was a big, called in the Hungarian commanders too. And so he took one of the Hungarian officers and said, okay, this is your responsibility. You take care of this boy. And he gave him a letter to go to hotel and do whatever. And there was a Tolmacher, a translator, didn't translate it right, and he said, I'm the son of the general. And I said to myself, shut up, Shmulik. You know, I did explain the mistake because I wanted a little bit enjoy myself, you know.
סבלתי כבר מספיק מהרוסיה.
I had enough of the
עכשיו הזמן של
Russians.
פיצויים.
Let them pay, pay a little bit for, they gave me a room in a hotel, the finest hotel in Budapest. They took my clothes, they cleaned my clothes, dry cleaning and washed what had to be washed. They, my shoes, they shined, and even I took a haircut, a beautiful haircut, and I was, went into the bathtub sitting for hours. And I had new clothes, and I dressed myself nicely, new clothes, and the Hungarian officer came and took me to the dining room. I came to the table. You had 3 or 4 kind of glasses, crystal, everything. Spoons and this. I didn't know why you need so many spoons. And knives and forks and this. From silver, everything, you know, the china plates and wine and fruit on the table, and every table had 2 waiters. And this was standing with a, how you call it, their hand, standing like this and taking orders. But I'm a boy from a little village, right? When I didn't saw in my life a hotel like this. Then they brought the food. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. You had duck, and all kind of food that I never saw in my life, prepared like this. You said, and how they take it. I didn't know which hand is the fork and which hand is the knife. These were food for kings. But the nice thing is we don't have to pay for it. They call them gypsies, you know, to play. And they were singing a song that my mother, she used to sing it. And this made me very sad, and I started to cry. I went out from the room and left from the dining room and left. The Russian officer came with me to the Red Cross and Joint and all those organizations. And he had lists what he knew about it, just they know about it. Just before they put it out on the walls. He looked in it and then we couldn't find no one. He wanted to boost my spirit. He wanted to take me to a movie. I told him I promised myself I will not take any enjoyment, you know, until I will find my sister. Your sisters are just missing. I'm sure that they're alive. If your father told you, then you can be sure that they're still alive. When he said it, you know, I started to cry. Because I said, yeah, my father promised me, I don't think he will take me home. He promised me he will take me home, and he broke his promise. You have to understand this. I was angry a little bit with my father. He started to cry too.